you said it didn't fully express who I was. Like, I think I read something the other day and it said by age 40, we could all write the same memoir, which is, it's not what I thought. I thought life was worth more. And that is exactly my journey. I don't think there's a right way, a wrong way. I think it's, if it feels right to you, it's right. So for me, this transformation started. And Zarina, I think I know my gut was talking to me for years, my friend, for years, but it was terrifying and I didn't listen. And I had that silent gut whisper that I was meant for more. But I was getting the validation from my corporate job. I was damn good at it. I was getting the money. I was getting the validation. And I think that's when you subconsciously place yourself in a cage and stifle yourself and you don't even realize it. So life had to bring me to my knees, as I think it needs to for all of us. I don't think there's a way to skirt past that. I think you need to have life bring you down to your knees for you to take action and realize, all right, enough of this. So for me, Zarina, it was this 15-year addiction, hard addiction like a drug, to achieving, to getting the validation from the outside world, to climbing the corporate ladder, to thinking I'll be happy when. Yeah, do that. I'll be happy when I get the corner office, when I get the title, when I get this in the bank account, or it can be when I fit in this size jean, or when I get this relationship, or I get the car, whatever surface level crap you think it is. For me, it was the job. I get the corner office job, Zarina, running sales for this $1 billion hospitality organization. And then universe, life, divine, God, whatever word you want to use, has a sick sense of humor. And they were like, you know what? Check yourself, because you're not living life the way you were meant to. So I had a mental breakdown alongside the busiest highway in Philadelphia. Talk about the irony in that. My whole life was kept being busy so I wouldn't have to feel. I didn't even realize it. I labeled it as achieving and climbing the corporate ladder. Then I have this mental breakdown, Zarina, and I realized, oh my God, while I have the title, while everything looks good on social media, everything looks good on surface level, but behind the mask, the person that I won't even allow myself to be honest with myself, because I was running from it, I was popping Lexapro, which is an antidepressant, so I wouldn't have to feel. I was binge drinking, so I wouldn't have to feel. I was overspending, so I wouldn't have to feel. I was in loveless relationship after loveless relationship, so desperate for someone to just throw me a bone, and cut off from my closest friends and family because I couldn't tolerate to hear how great their life was while I was just existing and hanging on. And Zareen, it's in that moment that I began to get courageous enough and get to know the person that I spent my whole life running from, which is me. And it sounds easy, but man, it is journey. It's a journey. It's ugly. It's mucky. It's murray. And that's been the journey that I've been on for 7 years.
How did you begin this journey?
Zarina,
I mean, that was the beginning, but what was the first step of the journey?
Zarina, I love this question, my girl, because I feel that we all know really what to do. God, information's everywhere. You wanna find a solution to everything. Hop over to your friend Google and you can find it within a 20-minute search, right? Maybe less than that. But it's springing into action. Like I was reading something the other day that 96% of us in the United States say that health is important to us, but only 26% of us do anything about it. So it's action. It's starting into action. And for me, Zarina, where I started was, well, a couple things. Well, and I didn't even realize this at the time, but one, I became very intentional and aware of the content that I was feeding my mind. Not just existing, like I started to listen to podcasts that motivated me, that had me changing my mindset. Then it was amazing on these people that started to show up in my life when I started to change what I was feeding my mind. Not just waking up and going right to the phone, checking the emails, doing the things, starting my morning by a few moments of just pen to paper. And I started asking myself these 4 questions. I do it still to this day. And if any of your beautiful listeners or tribe wants to download it, wants to save it, wants to screen grab it, they can just go to megan-miller.com. It's there, it's free. And these are the 4 questions. 1, how am I feeling today and why? Don't bull crap yourself. Don't bullshit yourself. Like, be honest. How am I feeling today and why? Number 2, what is one small act of service I can do for someone else in my life? Whether it's a love note to my partner to say thinking of you by the coffee, or whether it is a text to a friend, or whether it's a note, an email to a colleague saying, hey, that was really cool what you did yesterday. One small act of kindness. So powerful. Question number 3, what is one thing I can do today that'll make me happy? That'll make me happy. Whether that's getting outside for 15 minutes to feel the sun on my face, or read the book, or get in the garden. 10, 15, 5 minutes. What is one small thing I can do today that'll make me happy? And then question number 4, what are 3 things I'm grateful for? What are 3 things in this moment that I feel deep appreciation for? And it sounds simple, but it's the simplest things that we know we should do that we don't. And when you ask yourself these questions, this really cool thing begins to happen, Zarina. And I wish that I could say I knew all of this. It just sort of happened, air quote, by accident. And then I got curious and I looked up the science behind it. You have a bouncer that lives up in your brain. It's called the reticular activation system. I think it's so cool. You can Google it. It's called RAS. And basically, what it is you tell that bouncer what to let in, which is why when you go shopping for the car, then you see the car everywhere. It's the bouncer. So when you wake up, you go right to that phone and you're annoyed. Maybe you didn't get the likes on the social feed or the email or the thing. You will find more things during that day to support that. 3 minutes, Serena, of doing that, and you'll have a 70% higher chance of having a bad day. Versus taking those few minutes in the morning to ask yourself those 4 questions. It's amazing how you'll show up throughout the day.
When you were talking about your first question, which was like, how am I feeling today? I was thinking, do you really know how you're feeling when you're just opening up your eyes, or are you programming yourself? This is how I actually want to feel, and that's why you're writing it.
Here's the thing, and here's what's really interesting. I did not realize how limited my vocabulary was around how I was feeling. It's what, either mad, happy, sad, glad, like that's about it. But here's what I would say. Don't overcomplicate it. Just write one word down, whatever comes to mind, because here's what'll happen. And here's what I've noticed. I was just talking to a girlfriend about that, and she was like, yeah, it sounds easy, but it's hard and we struggle with that. And I said, well, yeah, well, just write one word down, write whatever comes to mind. And here's what'll happen over time. It's amazing what vocabulary will expand. It's amazing, Zarina, to your point. Almost you'll like find yourself changing how you show up and how you feel. The words change. And then you'll also be amazed at how you answer the question, how are you?